All right, we're back. This one's not going to be that long. I'm basically going to show how I set something up off stream that I should have had going a while. And other than that, I'm going to work on maybe one or two little things and see what's up after that. So what I want to do is install this remote SSH extension. And I think it's ready. So after installing that, there's a couple things you have. You have this green button down here and this remote explorer. So you could, if you click this, you can, from there, it's basically an easy way to get to this menu and set up a connection. So what we can do is go open configuration file. You could also get there from here. And the configuration file, if you don't already have one, it'll create one for you and then just put some stuff in there. You don't need that comment. Just like a link to documentation. And from here, you can set up a connection to a remote server. So in my case, I'm just going to call it, and you can call this whatever you want. I'll call it Light Sail. The host name is the IP address. So let's go grab that. And I did a test on this one, but I'm actually going to, I actually want to show one thing on that. So if I open this up, ls-la, so there's nothing that says like VS Code server in here. So I haven't done it on here, but in here, once you complete the process, you'll see this folder with the VS Code server. So it basically installs this server. There is a couple alternatives to this, and I'll show those in just a second. Well, not alternatives really, but better than what I was doing before. Because one issue I was having is like when I was using the Nano text editor and like I couldn't figure out how to skip through, navigate, fast in it between words. That didn't work for me for whatever reason. So maybe it's just something that I don't know how to do on there, or um, there's a special way to do it through this interface. I want to see one quick thing on this actually. Can you change the font size? No, you can't. Okay. So the better way to set that up is something I should have done a while back, is connect through SSH. And this config file I'm setting up is going to allow us to do that. So I want to put the IP address there, and then the username is going to be admin. Paste. And then this key is going to be your private key. And this is the default one that's set up for you. And they have a public key on already set up on the server. So I'm gonna grab this. Or do I have that backwards? No, I think I have that right. And it gives it a default name. I'll just stick with that actually. Like everything I was doing before would have been a lot easier if I just did this. So I'm gonna cut that. Then I'm gonna go into C, users, my user directory, and SSH, and paste it. I'm gonna grab the file name and copy that. And what else? And then up here, type identity file and the path. So that will be the root. Actually, what is it now? SSH slash that. For some reason, that doesn't seem right to me. But that's not root, by the way, it's the home. I think you could do relative stuff. So we could test that by loading up. So if we do a command prompt, and this is not going to work, I don't think. SSH, and then the username admin at the IP address 54.191.182.44. There's a bad owner permissions. So I don't know if that's happening because VS Code created that file. And now that I'm thinking about it, I want to test that. Let me actually just delete that and make a new file called config. Yes. I'm gonna go open with Notepad. I don't think that's the problem. Try it again. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But basically, if you try to connect that way through the command prompt or PowerShell, it does this. And I was reading on Stack Overflow, there's someone saying you can change the permissions, but I'd rather not do that because there's another way around it using something I already have. So another way you would normally connect is you type SSH. There's an identity file, so you can go like that, and then the path to identity file, but that was also not working for me. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but right. Yeah, things just weren't working. Let me bring that original one back in. I don't think it matters, but just so it has all the same stuff. And delete this one. So anyways, we have the config file that we already created here, and so you get that error, but what you can do is use git bash if you have that installed, and that should install with git if you have that installed. So now if you go SSH uh, admin at IP address, it'll automatically connect, I think. So first it'll ask you this, and make sure you hit you type yes here, because if you don't type yes and you hit just enter, it's like not going to connect, I think. So you have to actually type yes. Um, and that will add this host to the list of known hosts. So what that'll do is, let me pull that up. It'll add it to here, I believe. So now we're good to go. We're actually in the remote server, and this would have been just this alone would have been nice if I had this set up the whole time. Because you could increase the font easily by holding control and dragging. And then if I was gonna open like test.txt, you actually could just open nano to a file name without creating it first. But anyways, so if I type some words, now from here I wouldn't have that issue. I could easily navigate between words by holding control and the arrow keys. So that would have been a lot nicer. It just would have been easier to like copy stuff too, probably just in this alone. And maybe I'll use this a little bit too when I'm working in here in the server. But the other thing I wanted to set up was remote VS Code, which I was showing earlier. So close the connection. So once you have this set up, the SSH will work. It'll use the file here that has your private key to connect. And then let me see something really quick. Yeah. And then we want to you could either click this button here Can you click on this? You could probably click this too, or you could click this and do connect to host. Any of those work. You hit this and it opens up a new window. So the first time it runs, it has to install the VS Code server, and you'll see an error. So click on Linux. There's gonna be an error, and it's that same error. Actually, if I hit try again and I looked in the console, I'll just show it actually. I'll do it again. Linux, and then let's hit retry. Or maybe it wasn't, but anyways, if you're able to see the command line, I forgot how you do it. Or maybe you hit this. Yeah, there it is. So it'll show the same error with permissions, like you know, same issue, bad owner permissions. Okay. So what you have to do is go to, you can close this. In VS Code settings, you want to have it load, use SSH or remote.ssh.path, I think. Yeah, remote.ssh path. You can just search whatever to get there. And then this would be the path to SSH inside of git bash. So to do that, you can go to, I think it's in program files, git user bin, and then SSH. So it's going to be this path probably on Windows for most people, ssh.exe. So now that's set. I try this again. Let me try it this way. That doesn't do anything. Okay. I have to click on that button. So now if I do that and I click Linux, you'll see it says, okay, downloading VS Code Server, installing VS Code Server, setting up VS Code Server, opening remote, and we're in. And it says you selected Linux as a remote platform. This will be stored in a setting, whatever. Can be changed if needed. Okay, fine. And then from here, we could open a folder. So here's all the remote folders. I could just open up really any folder, or I could just open up the home directory. So I'll do that. Yep, that's fine for that. So now you can see it installed that .vs Code server that we saw on the other server. So this would have been a lot nicer if I set this up sooner, but you know, I didn't, so that's okay. To get it navigate, I mean, it's been way easier, at least for me. And to like use the VS Code shortcuts, like example, right, find multiple of those and change them all at once or whatever, rename lots of different things. So we didn't do that, but you know, from now on, I'll probably be doing this. It'll be a lot easier to work with. Um, what else? There's a couple alternatives. One of them is I already showed, just use SSH, kind of at least better than what I was using, which is the web UI client, SSH client. And the other alternative is rsync. So there's a way of using rsync, and I think DigitalOcean has a nice, um, like this here has a nice like overview of how to use rsync. And to use that from Windows, if you want to sync Windows with another, which is what I'd basically be doing in my case, you can install it from Windows WSL, basically. So WSL Windows. So if you want to install that, get that running, Windows subsystem for Linux, then you could use rsync from there if you want to. I think it comes with Ubuntu, maybe, but other distributions you might have to install it. I don't know. Anyways, it would also been easier like I was copying these buckets and all this stuff. All I would had to do to copy something is just like, for example, this file. Mm, let's say this file, I literally just copy and paste it somewhere, right? Or I could probably even do a copy, right? Copy and then paste somewhere on my computer. Anyways, from now on, that's probably how I'm going to be doing it. And yeah, now that I can see this though, I do want to see, it's a lot easier to like see stuff in the console too and search things, at least for me. I'm sure some people are really good with Linux terminal that might have an easy time with that too. So what I want to look at, I want to look at minimum, or not minimum. I wanted to look at build, CBC, examples, where is it? Test MPS. Okay, so rows. So rows are named C whatever. Okay, I think. And then columns are named X. So that's where the X and the C are coming from this file. So why is it giving me the wrong name? That kind of doesn't make sense to me. Because when I do get row name, it gives me R, right? It doesn't give me C, and then when I do get column name, it gives me C, it doesn't give me X. But I don't know this format, so maybe there's some more to it that I'm not understanding. But it seems to me the columns are below, these are the rows up here, and yeah. So if I go in minimum, um, oh wow, I can see why it had all this weird issues. Let me do a format. Can I format this? No, I don't want to save changes. Um, how do I format? C++. Thousands debugging and code browsing. Hmm. Probably have to install something to do that. But I could like fix a couple things up just really easily. Like this. Make that a couple spaces. Save that. Like, is most of this stuff like a couple spaces? It's using tab size. Let me use indent using spaces. I guess we'll go 2. Or is that 4? I don't know. Okay. Clean this up a little bit. I think another way to clean this up would be plus that plus that. Is that clean? Maybe? Something like that. Okay. Get solution. Guess I'll go with the format that they are using. I don't want any of these to be like really long. Something like that. Does that look good? Probably. Okay. Print solution. How about that? Something like that. Okay. Everything else looks okay. Oh man, this will be really easy to just copy over into the other one too. Um, cool. So what I want to see, okay, get column name. So I'm not doing that wrong. Get row name, column name. It's just getting it wrong for some reason. Not sure. Let's look that up. Let's close a bunch of this crap out too that I don't need. Um, don't need any of this. I want to leave that open for now. Leave that open. Leave that open. Cool. Let me actually delete this test because I don't care about that. Yes, delete. All right, cool. All right. I want to read, I guess, CBC coin or on their site. Is there any issue that says column name or something? Closed. Hmm. Um, I was reading earlier too. Another thing I might or want to check out is Pyodide matplotlib. So I was reading this blog about how they optimize matplotlib to work in the browser a little bit better, I guess. So all you have to do to use it is where is that? It's right here. So I'll mess with that. I think I have another project I want to work on that do some plotting using that. See, I don't see anything about a column name. Can I do? I'm not sure. All right, so I guess for now I can move over um, this solution, and let's do Control A, and I'll move it over to the WASM. So that was in. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can just open a terminal, and it's like the terminal on the remote server. Cool. So where is that? This forgot. Do I have it at all? Oh no, it's in build. There we go. Build, CVC, source, examples. There we go. Okay. And what if I do open an integrated terminal? Oh man, that's cool. Okay, cool. So it works that way too. I mean, I knew it worked locally, but it also works remotely. That's cool. It opens up a new one, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Um, I don't know, is that just the default behavior? I think it's the default behavior, even locally. Okay. So I want to be in here, and then I also want to change source on build. It's in CBC examples. There we go. Let's see what this has. LP problem string. Okay. It's a little bit different. Alright, so I wanna, so all this I think can go. None of this matters here, up to here. Okay, and then IO stream. Why did I have that? I'm not sure if I actually need that, but maybe. And then here, I'm just gonna have all of this whole function. So I'll copy this. I wonder how this is gonna work too. I don't. So this one shouldn't have to be exported, right? I'm not sure. And then maybe though. And then the other one is this one, the solution. So that would be in here, but then I could just uh, change this to be string run LP solver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. Get rid of this. Good. And I determined it needs to be the file name, right? Let me make sure that. Pretty sure it needs to be the file name. So it creates a file. No, it doesn't need to be. Or yes, it does need to be a file. It needs to be a file because read MPS takes a file. Without modifying that code, it has to be a file. That's true. All right, so I'll just say file path, MPS file path, MPS file path, and then this will be MPS file path. Okay, cool. And then this returns a string, so that's good. Everything else should be fine. It's bigger. And that should be fine too. And this is the thing that wraps, yeah. So it should wrap both of these, right? And I think it'll be fine as long as there's a reference to this in the other function, and then I'm exporting this. I think it'll work. I guess we'll find out. An easy way to do it would just be to move this code into here instead. Um, but I kind of want to try this and just see. Actually, yeah, I'll try it, I guess. If it doesn't work, I'll just move the code from that function in here or figure out another way to do it. But I mean, that way will definitely work. First way. Okay. Let me put a comment here. Okay. All right, cool. Is there anything else? So it takes in a string of a file name or file path, returns a string. Should be good to go. And then from examples, I need to do em make, but before I do that, I need to uh, go to, I need to make this bigger too. Settings, font. I could read it, but it's like pretty small. Console, let's make it 20. Is that console? Oh no, it's a debug console. Keep that where it was. Okay, font, terminal. There we go. Okay, that's easier to read. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, cool. Forgot where I need to go here. So what exactly am I trying to do again? Oh, I need to enable, I need to source that one file. So the environment variables get set or whatever. Then I can access the program from anywhere. So where was I? We're in build. CBC examples. Okay. So em make no em make driver equals what? Oh, it's here. It's a new. So if I go to copy relative path. Wait, is it will that work? No. So I need to go. There we go. So em make driver equals. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I wonder how many errors that'll fix. Probably just that one. Okay. Are these all warnings? Implicit instantiation of undefined template. Output stream. Really? This thing's way more strict. I didn't expect to run into some of these errors, but let's see. Let's see what we come up with here. What do I have to include though? Oh, right. I actually don't think I need IO stream, but maybe. Alright, let's try it again. So 4 warnings. So what's wrong with this? User defined type. Oh. I see why that could be an issue, but I think it's okay. Let me see. I mean, I could make it. Let me see. Get solution header. Solution header. This could be. I mean, could be this. There's no reason it couldn't be. I don't think. So, hmm. I mean, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. As long as it works. I don't think we need to do this. So, what's the other one? Has C linkage, but returns that. Fine. Okay. Object backing the pointer will be destroyed at the end of the full expression. Okay. Let's make sure that's. I don't think that's an issue. Inner string, get string, int f. Get string. Wonder how many issues I have with my code. I mean, I did like use a lot of the code that was already there, so hopefully it's okay. So it's a dangling pointer, and that is on which? Over get column name. Like, don't I have that everywhere? I think it's fine. Wait, maybe it's not fine. Maybe this is why I'm having some issues? I don't think so. It's interesting though. Hmm. Let me see how they use get row name. New coin or. Hmm. Maybe I just do model dots. Let me see. I mean, that might even fix the issue I'm having, possibly. With the row names being wrong. What does that say? What did they call it for here? Hmm, interesting. So what do they say? Print solution. Move the solver. Hmm. Look at this. They do this like every time. Hmm. It's interesting. Alright, I'll go back to what I had. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna help. But okay, we got rid of the errors at least. Alright. And then what's next? We do the command. Where is that thing? Documents. Setup. Here it is. Okay, let's paste. Oh, right. Um, all right. So from here, we need to move the O over as usual. Wow, it has sets up a Git repository too. All right, examples. Not examples. It's in build. Build. Uh, here. Examples. Yep. Copy, and we need to go. Where is it now? It's in dist. Yeah, there's their lib is. Paste. Delete this. How do I delete? Can't? What? Oh, delete permanently. Rename. Okay. And here I can just delete these. And then I can open this. Copy path. What's that? Copy relative path. Bring it. So, okay, now here's where I use this. Is it running? Yeah. And then all I need to do is copy over the WASM file, maybe the JS file. I don't remember. This is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna do. It's actually not even gonna work right at all, is it? Because it takes a file name or a file path. Yeah. I'll set this up probably tomorrow, but it's really nice to get this. I'll let it finish, but it's really nice to get this set up in VS Code. It's just easier to work with, a lot easier. So if this takes too long, I might just quit out of it, but I don't think it'll take that long. So I think if I do this though, I can, I should be able to just specify, well, let's see. Oops. What? Um, CBC. So it's in Wasm, dist, Wasm, copy, throw that in site. Or no, just delete this one, grab this one, move it. Did that work? Yes. And then let me just compare get diff minimum JS to site minimum JS. Same thing. Okay, so I don't need to copy that over. All right, let me go here. Open this up. Whoa, what? Oh, it's got to be the old version, right? Why is that working? Oh, I have the whole worker set up and everything, right? Hold on, I actually don't know why this is working. What? It takes a string of a file path. Does it not? Huh? How does that still work? It doesn't even make sense, right? Let me see. So, app.js, worker, wait, fetch file data. Solve LP. What? Something's wrong. Oh, I know what's wrong. I'm an idiot. I forgot to publish. There we go. So yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Memory access out of bounds. Right. All right. Well, I think I'm done for now. It's late, so I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, really nice to get it set up in VS Code, and should make things go faster from now on. I wonder if I pass in. Oh, I'll have to change some things around. Let me just try it really quick. So calls this, and then let me just pass this whole thing in there. See if this does anything. Probably not. I will have to publish again. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I'll look into that next time. Cool. Definitely made some progress. Not much, but a little bit. So, all right. Thanks for watching.